Splatter my platter.
Good morning, coffee moaners. Very, very nice to see you all. Welcome
I've just clicked
to our humble abode.
I've just clicked on Nadia's link and it's brought me here.
I know, it's so good, isn't it?
It's such a kind of, yeah, I mean, for most people, they click the link and they see you. I click the link and I'm here.
I know, it's fantastic.
It's like time travel.
I'm just going to warn you, Mark's a bit weird today.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Moaning. Hope you're all well. This fair, fine Wednesday morning.
Yes.
We've got all sorts of bits and bobs to talk about. Now, I just want to say we did do a live last night about Keir Starmer announcing to Donald that, in fact, we are going to acknowledge a Palestinian state, but only if, what's the name of that country, Nadia?
Which one?
Israel.
Oh, Israel.
Only if Israel stops the violence.
Yeah.
What? So anyway, so we did a big live about that last night.
Yeah, it was just totally about that. So
Yes.
if you wonder why we're not talking about that today, it's because we did it last night and it's easy to go to. So you can click on that.
In fact, I'll pop it up the top there. It'll be the first thing you can click out to.
And then you can catch up on that. Welcome if you're new to our channel. Yeah. Wow, you were doing the right thing, because all across the papers today is the fact that YouTube now is getting more views than the BBC, than ITV. Their biggest competition is now YouTube. So well done if this is your first time here. Just hit the subscribe button. It does not cost anything.
Nothing.
Now, the older audience believe that it does because it sounds like subscription. And we're constantly saying YouTube should call it followers, not subscribers. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because then you'll be told, you'll be notified when we're going live. You
too could be part of a community of now over 150,000 people who we have slowly sent mad. They are insane.
And we've got a lovely community here. We know so many of the people. Please get involved, comment. We love to read out your comments. We all get to know each other quite well on here. So another reason so different from TV. Yeah, lovely to have you here. So we're going to be chatting about that a bit later.
And do you know what? We are actually going to sort of compliment ourselves a little bit in there.
Yes.
Because I think we do offer quite a unique service, even within the landscape of YouTube.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yes, odd.
It's odd what we
So
do.
we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about what YouTube being more popular. We are going to have a bit of a chit-chat about Trump, Epstein, just more remarkable nonsense coming from the orange man's mouth. And he forever...
Horrible, really horrible.
Have you noticed how wherever he's interviewed, there's loud noise behind him?
Because he's always on Air Force One. He loves the image of leaning on the wall on Air Force One and giving interviews near the toilet. It's so weird.
Apparently the bagpipe player in Scotland's been knighted.
He needs to be.
Yeah, trying to find him because he drowned him out. So we're going to be talking about that, and we are going to be turning to a very serious story, which is about the Rotherham grooming gang story. An aspect of it that I know that James O'Brien on LBC spent a whole morning talking about this. The police that were responsible for supposedly dealing with the Rotherham grooming gangs, their culpability in some of the offences that were conducted against the women, some pretty serious, horrendous accusations, which reminds me and reminds us, do you remember how on Friday or last week at some point we talked about, isn't it interesting how all these signs outside migrant hostels and hotels saying, protect our kids, protect our kids. They only want to protect, they only see people commit crimes who are migrants. They don't seem to care about the police or white people or anyone else. It's really odd. So we're going to talk about that.
But I think we'll start with YouTube.
Yes.
We'll start with YouTube. I did actually get asked to go on a program this morning, a radio show, but obviously I'm here doing Coffee Moaning, to talk about this because it is quite a phenomenon that is going on. And the reason they wanted me to go onto the show was because I'm one of the very few people that has gone that do both TV and YouTube, which it is actually unusual. It's unusual, isn't it? We only sort of thought about yesterday.
It is unusual, but our mission has been present for years. I mean, you've seen us, me, the pair of us, beavering away, editing stuff, creating content, creating
people
members
that have
areas,
been with us
for years. It's taken a lot of time. It's taken a lot of curating. It's taken a lot of creating. And a lot of kind of times where you just think, oh, what's the point? And then you carry on and you carry on.
But I got quite nostalgic as I was thinking yesterday about what I would say if I'd done this interview. I was just sort of I was charting through our beginning. And I know a lot of people here will now get nostalgic for the time when this really grew. You know, I had just been told by Loose Women there was a pandemic, that's it, goodbye, because when you're self-employed, you don't get anything, right? So obviously we had run a production company for a number of years. Mark,
it runs this channel.
Yeah, for TV. No, for TV. We'd run it for TV. And Mark's a brilliant program maker, editor, director. We've done shows for television. And Mark, very cleverly as well, knew that TV was coming to an end in a way, wasn't it? And we get to make our programs in the way that we want to make them. You know, nothing has to get commissioned. But that's not how it started. It started out of the pandemic. And us just like chatting. Do you remember? Just like really like organic, wasn't it? It was just like we'd flick on the cameras and we'd do it. Was it Coffee Moaning at the beginning?
No, it was COVID-19, I think.
Yes,
was its
it
first.
was. COVID-19.
But one of the interesting things about this, and I'm going to blow my own trumpet a little bit here, is my first ever job in the business was as something called a video journalist. And what's really weird about this, there's a reason for mentioning this. And ironically, I worked for a channel called Channel One. They were run by, God forbid, can you believe this, the Evening Standard and the Daily Mail.
God.
Yeah, I was their arts correspondent. I went from editor to VJ, video journalist. Now, the weirdest thing about that first job was, it was something that was way ahead of itself in terms of an idea. You know, a newspaper creating a cable channel. It was when cable was the rage. It didn't. You might have remembered Live TV run by the Mirror. Janet Street Porter was head of it, and we were competitors.
Was that the Mirror?
Yeah, that was the Mirror. Ran that from Canary Wharf, and we were always competing against each other, the two of us. The weirdest thing about that job is, and then, you know, obviously left Channel One, went into the industry, directed, made loads of programs for all the broadcasters, set up our own production company, made all our programs for broadcasters. And then at the point that we did start to go, do you know what? We want to be our own bosses. We want to start taking control of our own destiny. All of the skill set that I had as a video journalist, which was every day you had to create, and think about, what does this sound like? Every day I had to create 1 or 2 arts-based news stories that were 3 to 5 minutes long, edited with contributors shot all around London. Incredible. And you would deliver 4 to 5 of those every week. And I was the only one there who could also edit. So I would shoot, I would report, I would interview, I would present, and I would edit. And did that for about 2.5, 3 years. And that skill set is what has made this entirely possible.
Exactly, because people will often say to me, other presenters, they'll go, so what do I do to have a YouTube channel? I said, you marry someone
you
like
need an editor. I mean, editing is a huge part.
Because the editing, but the editing that you do, like the vlogs, they are complete vlogs. If you're new to the channel, it's like all our reality show, very quick and easy way to say it. So we do traveling, we do around the house, we do all of that. And they're broadcast standard. They could go on television. And the thing is, when our production company was working for television, you'd have a great idea, and it would have to go through 25 people.
You'd wait 16 months before it happened.
Before it would happen, and by then you've had 20 other ideas. So we can go a bit like, well, nearly all the different strands we've gone here. Go, oh, why don't we do a vlog? Oh, why don't we do a cookery show? Or why don't we? And then, like, within a couple of days, we're up and running and we do it. So yeah, so it's just really exciting to work on YouTube, because you're really just doing what you want, and you can be so honest and you can be so unfiltered. Because, you know, for television, even if you're self-employed, you're still working for someone, aren't you? You've still got to behave in a certain way. The rules and regulations are so much stricter. And I think, like on Loose Women, it's one of the most like real, if you like, presenter jobs, because you are talking about yourself and you're sharing like personal stuff. But compared to what I do on YouTube, there's no comparison, because it's just so like some days, you know, we're total. I think it's just the most real way. Now, not all YouTube, because a lot of YouTube is like, hi guys.
Yeah. And a lot of YouTube channels, and that's where again, I think we try and provide something very different. A lot of YouTube channels will do one thing. They might just test new cameras, or they might just cook affordable. Do you know what I mean? We have a hunger for delivering lots of different content. Yeah. Now, some of it will float some people's boat. Other stuff, like, you know, we'll review really niche kind of films, which will never ever get the same numbers.
But you would never be able to do on television, because people say, oh, how many people would be interested in that? Well, we've never done anything thinking about how many viewing figures we would get, or you know, it's always been about what we think people would like. Even this Coffee Moaning, you know, it's the news that we talk about. It's what our family talk about. If I phone my mum later, she's going to say, "Oh my God, have you seen the latest on Trump?" And so that's how we do it. Stuart G just said there, he first started watching when we were having the kitchen done and I was cooking on a camper van.
God.
I don't remember us doing it back then.
No.
Were we vlogging back then?
I think we did something. Maybe that was when it was Kay Nads. Maybe that was way back then.
So do you feel, because what this article says is that we knew that younger people were always here, but now it's the older generation is coming over.
Well, let me just read the details of the story. The BBC is at risk of a fresh exodus of viewers as older audiences increasingly turn to YouTube over traditional TV channels. The streaming giant, YouTube, accounted for 14% of all viewing, overtaking ITV and just behind BBC. The BBC has a 19% share, YouTube has a 14% share, and ITV now has a 12% share. The trend is being driven by younger audiences, but Ofcom also found that the flood of viewers to YouTube is also with over 55s now doubling the amount of YouTube content they watch on TV.
That's great.
So, you know, it's going up. It's going up.
So we just wanted to know, what do you think, guys? What do you
like about the YouTube experience? Not the content that we put out. What is it about watching on YouTube that you like?
Compared to television?
Exactly.
And are you new to watching YouTube? You know,
TV is boring system. You know what? I'm going to say something really contentious here. Whenever I tune into what I call linear, whilst you answer, linear kind of conventional TV, I'm staggered by how dull a lot of it is. Slow. Let's have a look. Silent viewer, it's me. I've watched since you and Kay went on your walks. I love your channel.
Oh, lovely. Hi, it's me.
Hang on. Why have the costs of TV production increased so much? It's odd because the salaries don't increase alongside it
at all.
Nobody watches live TV anymore. It's all on demand. You can search and find what you want, says Hedge Witch. Let's just see what you like. It's more relaxed, says Charlene Evans, and feel it's more truthful than TV. I think that's what you like about it, isn't it?
It is.
It is more relaxed. Storm.
I mean, I'm really lucky to be able to do TV and YouTube, because TV is nice. I go in, I get all dressed up, you know, it's like the audience, everything. It's lovely. And I really enjoy it. And I get to work with people that I love and all of that. But I love YouTube as well because I'm so much freer. Oh, here's some interesting, really specific details on why you like it. Uncensored TV. I'm at the stage I can't believe anything mainstream. I like actually being able to interact with the creators. Well, that's what I was going to say today. If I'd done this interview, I was going to say, I think unlike a lot of people, the fact you can bring it with me working around the place. Sorry. Yeah. A lot of that's true. Doing your ironing, a lot of people don't realise that aren't yet over to YouTube that a lot of what is great about it compared to ITV is this interaction. Though I have to say, I haven't seen a lot of channels that interact like we do. No, I mean, for us, we really enjoy that part of it, don't we? Yeah. We love kind of like getting to know you and know your names and how funny you all are when we ask you something about us and you know our life. But like Stuart G, were we vlogging when we did the kitchen? I feel like I want to go back and have a look at those vlogs. Emma Staple, the community makes me feel part of something. Make new friends too. Yes, friendships are made. Can you imagine making friends through watching television? Yeah. Oxidus, this is interesting. The gaming community have had this style of content for decades. It's only recently that the social media platforms have come out. Gamers had community pockets for ages. Such a good point to make, because that we just were never near the gaming stuff. Our girls weren't gamers, so we don't really know anything about it. But that's a good point. Thank you. Sharon Carter, I'm 61. I very, very rarely watch normal TV. I like it being interactive. I started looking for alternatives during COVID as I felt I wasn't getting the whole truth. You see, Sharon Carter, 61. Would everybody mind just putting their age? If you don't want to, you don't have to, because I'm just really fascinated to see. Oh, look at this, Lynn Aoki. I love you two in this community. Your support meant a lot when my wee granddaughter Robin was born over 5 years ago. God, yes, wow. In COVID, tell me that is not 5 years. Thank you so much. Every time you say when it was, I cannot believe it. Oh, look, here's ages coming in. Helen, 54, Justine, 55, Tony, 39, Stormbreaker, 47. I can't do everyone, I'm afraid, but Hillary, 64, 30, 29, Mandy, 59. Amy, 22. So what does a 22-year-old
Carol Robertson, 55.
get from watching us to? Do you know what? This makes me so happy, that broad age group,
Broad spectrum.
because, you know, I love young people. I am both of us are great advocates for young people. I think the world constantly knocks young people, and I think it's actually a disgrace. And I love talking to people that are older than me and younger than me, and I think that's how you stay young. But so that's lovely, isn't it?
I always think back to years ago, worked with Richard E. Grant, and I remember him saying one of his top tips for life was to just forever furnish yourself with young friendship groups, or younger friends, not solely, obviously, but, you know, younger friends too. If you tell me where you want to go.
Let's have a look at James and Mail.
Okay, that might be right at the top.
It's just that, no, it's just there.
James, I came to this channel in 2018 at the age of 21. I came across a movie review, and 6 years later, I'm watching a family that are batshit bonkers, cooking, gardening, deep conversations, so much more. I'm pleased you said that, James, because you came in via a movie review. What might, for me, what I hope happens, what I love to happen for people is they come in for one thing.
Yes.
And they hang around and have a look round, a bit like being in your home and looking at your shelves. And they go, oh, I quite like all of this kind of stuff. It's a bit weird and interesting.
That's why for regular viewers, it might get a bit annoying when I say, you know, I might say 2 or 3 times a week, mightn't I, at the beginning, listen, if you're new to the channel, have a look around, we do this. And you might think, oh God, we know that. But honestly, new people do go, oh, thanks, we didn't realise. And then they find, you know, the other content.
I am staggered and amazed by how, and I'm not decrying an industry that, but, but the vast majority of content, I tell you what, on television as well, is frighteningly slow. Even in its drama, it's an affectation. The way we watch TV, and particularly the news, isn't really normal behavior. Before TV, watching a play or a comedy or music was a community event, and news was something discussed with everyone. I also find that the news coverage, I mean, obviously we do a lot of news as well as a lot of entertainment and movie stuff and all that kind of thing. But I watched a couple of times, I've tried to watch the 6 o'clock news or even Newsnight. And I'm telling you now, or no, sorry, not Newsnight. What's the one? Question Time. I tried to watch Question Time the other week. I'm gonna compliment every one of you in this room right now. The stimulation from the show was negative. There was nothing of any interest. We get so much more from you guys.
As I say to you, we often will turn off the camera and then we will chat about what we've said, like stuff that we might have read. You'll see us both looking and trying to read things whilst we're live, and we don't always have time to read them out, but we discuss what you've said, and I love that. It makes us think in a different way.
So YouTube most popular with kids and increasingly popular with adults too. Amazing. Now I have got how long is it? It's quite long. It's 2.5 minutes, so I'm not going to show it. But I have got would this be useful to anyone? It's pointless anyone who's going to comment here, because actually you've all got accounts. But I have got a recording of how you go about creating a YouTube account. And I wonder whether you should put your voice under it and post it somewhere. I don't know.
A YouTube account.
How to create a YouTube account from scratch. If you don't have if you just turn on a computer and you want to go, oh, I want to subscribe, you have to be able to create a Google account.
People might think you mean to have a YouTube channel like this.
No, well, but to be able to comment, as you all are, you've all got YouTube channels.
Yeah.
But they're just not active, as in you're not uploading stuff. But you have to create a Google account. If you're watching and you're not in the comments, just go online, go to Google, put help create a Google account. Or just put in YouTube and then click on the top, create an account. Follow the instructions, doesn't cost a thing. You will create your own dedicated email, a Gmail email account that goes with your account, with your channel, and you're off. So just literally go into Google. This is the simplest way to describe it rather than each step. Just put create a YouTube account and it will step you through it. The only problem you will encounter is if you've already got a Gmail or a Google Mail account, because of course it will get confused. But if you haven't, just start it and you can do it.
Rachel Thomas just said it's gone up. She said this is a real comfort place for us. Oh my God, that makes me so happy. I love that.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
I really love that. And yeah. So here we are. We knew it, but now it's in the papers.
Yeah,
we all knew it, didn't we? So thank you so much. Is GG still talking about our kitchen vlog?
Is he?
When the
we'll
top came in. I wonder how long ago that was then.
Google account says YouTube means YouTube account, YouTube pages, Google Workspace, Google AI, Google Advanced Technologies, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, so just create. Yeah. No. Just go to YouTube and just go create an account. It's not confusing at all. If it's confusing, you're choosing to step back, but There will then be, you just follow the on-screen kind of instructions. I promise you. It's
Oh, Stuart, thank you.
Yeah.
We've helped him a lot with his anxiety. Thank you. That's
Oh.
just, that warms the cockles of our heart. So,
Zoe says, I've been here that long. I don't remember.
I don't remember when you came.
I just want to briefly mention this guy. I don't know if anyone saw the footage of. We haven't put the word knob on there, but this is Danny fucking Price.
Remember, we always recommend him to get extra news from on Instagram.
Account. This is what's that guy's name? Tommy. What's his name?
Robinson.
Tommy Robinson was seen after. Well, what happened? So there's a man unconscious on the floor. There's Tommy Robinson walking back and forth very angrily. I think it doesn't take a genius to potentially work out what's happened. Danny fucking Price has talked about this, saying Stephen Yaxley Lennon, which is his real name, has fled the UK on a flight in the early hours of this morning after assaulting a man at King's Cross Station in London. Stephen Yaxley Lennon acknowledged the incident on Twitter this morning when he wrote that someone tried to attack him but came off worse and claimed self-defense. But despite the incident being caught on CCTV, that would surely prove his innocence. Stephen Yaxley Lennon has done a runner. When asked for comment from a BBC journalist, he responded by calling her a slag.
Oh, God.
But I thought you were all about protecting women. Never forget that in 2005, he was convicted for assaulting a police officer who tried to stop him from attacking his own girlfriend. It was never about protecting women. It's about being a horrible, obnoxious, racist, grifting dickhead. Never come back. His words, not ours necessarily.
So what does that mean if you leave the country?
I don't know.
If you haven't been charged?
Does Interpol, can Interpol, well, it depends what they find on. It shouldn't be hard to look at the CCTV, should it? I mean, it should be relatively straightforward to look at the CCTV and work out what happened. So yeah, obviously, I was talking about him last week.
Now he says that he was threatened.
Self-defense.
It was self-defense, but we haven't seen anywhere the bit before, have we?
No.
I wonder.
Well, because we're only looking at it from someone's phone, obviously turned around at that point.
Oh, and then started filming, right?
He will be wanted now. I think they have the right to kind of find him and arrest him and track him down. So shall we listen to Donald Trump once again on Air Force One?
Yeah.
Dribbling some weird shit out about what, well, and you're right. I love the way the Young Turks. Listen to him lie. Listen to him say he knows nothing and then knows everything. Mm. Listen for that moment where he goes, no, I haven't got a clue, and then tells you everything he already knows.
Certain reputation, obviously. Just curious, were some of the workers that were taken from you, were some of them young women?
Were some of them
young women?
Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken, and it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad, but that story's been pretty well out there, and the answer is yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
What did they do?
In the spa.
Jobs? In the spa.
Yeah, it's people that work in the spa. I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world at Mar-a-Lago, and people were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone, and other people would come and complain. This guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again. And I said, out of here.
Did one of those stolen, persons, does that include Virginia Jeffrey?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people. Yeah. He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us, as you know. None whatsoever.
Hang on, it's the bit where he goes, I don't know. Yes, he stole her.
The whole world knows that Virginia Giuffre worked at the spa and that Ghislaine Maxwell groomed her into leaving. And this poor woman who had been sexually abused from a child, Ghislaine Maxwell found that out and used that against her. And she was promised the world from that spa. Our dogs, Chi-Chi and Toffee, know that story.
Yes.
And, sorry, excuse me. There's so much about that makes me feel sick. to call a person, to steal a person, that is.
That's a good point. Sometimes Forever says, so he had underage girls at his spa.
Yeah. So that's a very bizarre way to talk about a human being, first of all. And I think it shows us again exactly how he thinks about women, in my opinion. And then to slip into there an advert for his spa. Oh yeah, the Mar-a-Lago spa. Yeah, it's the best in the world. Pardon? Pardon? In the middle of that? You're talking about a prolific paedophile, 2 of them, and you slip in an ad for your spa. That is, to me, sociopathic. No feelings, no empathy, no sympathy. He has never once. Let us not forget, he said about Ghislaine Maxwell, great woman. I wish her well. She's a known paedophile. She's serving 20 years.
So, yes. I mean,
and as Virginia Giffrey said, she would never, ever have got into the position that she got into with Epstein if Virginia Giffrey hadn't been so charming and she trusted her with a cut-glass British accent. And she did terrible things to her as well, sexually.
Do you not think that perhaps what this is about, because although he comes across as though stuff just dribbles out of him, everything is quite considered and part of a strategy. There's a couple of things that I think he might be up to here. One might be that he's trying to occupy some kind of weird perceived moral higher ground, i.e. Epstein was so untoward and did things that even, that Trump felt, he's trying to sort of mark himself as slightly above Epstein. I had to tell him, no, not here, get out of the spa, get out of my place.
But it wasn't about him being a paedophile.
No, I get that. But do you think there's also the possibility in this that there are details somewhere about to come out that throw question marks over the age and origin of women in Mar-a-Lago, and that Trump's trying to get ahead of the story here? No, hang on, bear with me. That actually the connection between them going from the spa to Epstein was part of their route. This was part of the trafficking route.
No, I don't.
And that he's actually trying to fan the flames of that away.
No, because there's only one of them that went from, 2 of them that went from there.
It's just Virginia Giffrey.
Yeah, and another one, I think. But I do think that
2 is enough, isn't it?
You see, MAGA, the story has been in the past that Trump discovered that he was a paedophile and got rid of him. So MAGA made the sensible story for him. But he's just turned around and gone, no, it was like, you don't steal my stuff. You stole my stuff. So it's like they're saying on all the other sort of indie American news channels, he's just got to stop talking, because every single time he opens his mouth about Epstein files, he makes it worse. Because there's a very well-known story as well that he stitched Epstein up over the buying a property. And I just feel like he's just jumping all over the place. He's always smooth, isn't he? But he's not smooth on these questions.
So, okay, I'm going to stick with this. I know you kind of don't think it's the case, but Mark's right, Smishu. The Epsteins were using their connections to find pathways. Now, it might have been 1, it might have been 2. It might have just been Virginia Giffrey and one other. But if Epstein himself is sourcing and supplying 2 or 3 women from countless different possible sources, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this is Trump, because I don't actually think he's as throwaway as he likes to make us think. This could very much be him trying to get ahead of a possible story that suggests that he was part of the linking chains of the trafficking.
Because do you remember this morning I said to you, why has he suddenly said this? It's like there's something about him that he's trying to cover, but I hadn't thought of it like that. So maybe that is what it is.
It's too potentially troubling a development. I mean, look, what I'm trying to say is you would avoid it like the plague, wouldn't you? If you would just avoid, no, absolutely not. Of course not.
But he does say incredibly stupid things.
Yeah, and he always does this stupid thing where he can't help himself. I love your phrase, he's got tickets on himself. He loves the sound of his own voice. So he says, it's a lie, I don't know. And then he completely contradicts it. So
anyway, that's certainly going to roll on, that story.
Yeah.
It ain't going away for him.
No, it's not. Okay, let's just move on to this. This is quite
apparently a few days after 9/11, he was in an interview and he said, "Oh well, I got the tallest building now in New York."
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, again, shows his sociopathic
Okay, so this story is
Thinking.
this is a trigger warning to anyone who, well, just trigger warning. There's some details in
truly
this.
horrible.
When I read this story this morning, I just thought, my God, we have to do this. And I think it has an extra urgency to be spoken about, given the fact that we've got used to all of these images of, not all of them, I accept not everyone is a far right sort of neo-Nazi who's protesting outside migrant hostels. Quite the opposite. I know they're not. Reform are very behind it. A lot of people are very concerned in the local community, etc. But I did take umbrage with, I did challenge in gallows humor fashion late last week, this idea of protect our kids. I think anyone with a soul, a moral compass, anything, a sense of kind of empathy or sympathy would say protecting your children is the case. Unless, of course, it's Gazans, in which case it's terrorism. So protect your children is a kind of, I think we can all get on board with that as an idea. But what I was taking umbrage with was the idea that it's only migrants we need to protect our children from. When the majority
Which is very dangerous, because if you think that's all you've got to protect your children from, you're not going to be protecting your children.
Precisely, especially when you live in a country where, regardless of how many migrants are causing, you know, and they should all be, any assault, sexual assault, right, they need to be prosecuted, they need to be dealt with. But by the sheer logic of the number of people already in Britain, the majority of people committing sexual crimes are British, whether we like it or not. And I don't see anyone holding up signs about British people. Do you get me? Seems odd. So this story for me is another part of that in a way. So this is the story that's been reported that the Rotherham grooming gang victims were also abused by the police, allegedly.
So this is accusations.
This is accusations. So I'll just pull this down for a moment. I'm just going to pull the full story up and just explain to you. So one woman who was abused by hundreds of men walked into a police interview only to be confronted by an officer that she says had raped her since the age of 12. 5 victims of grooming gangs in Rotherham have now said that they were also sexually abused by 7 police officers at the time. This is something that James O'Brien was reporting about. A woman rang in to James O'Brien a couple of weeks ago talking about the fact that why isn't anyone talking about how complicit the police are, not in covering up the grooming, but actually engaging in abuse.
And she wasn't actually from Rotherham,
No,
but
she
her
wasn't.
story was, I think we played some of it on here,
yeah.
it was just heartbreaking.
Corrupt officers worked with the gangs or failed to act on child sexual abuse, according to these are new victim testimonies. 3 former officers have been arrested since December 2024 on suspicion of historic offences, including attempted rape, indecent assault and misconduct. Lawyers for the women said that South Yorkshire Police resisted demands for a criminal investigation for years, despite being provided with accounts of survivors. This is the bit that's shocking. However, the very same force has been put in charge of the investigation that's about to be conducted. The new testimony is the first time accusations of rape have been publicly leveled at police officers. And again, trigger warning here, but this is shocking. One woman known as Willow said she was raped from the age of 12 by a serving officer in a marked police car, and that he threatened to give her back to the grooming gang if she didn't comply. She, quote, "In a world where you were being abused so much, being raped once by a police officer was a lot easier than multiple rapes." And I think he knew that.
Poor child.
Someone else, I think she also said, yes, Willow was sexually abused over 5 years by a grooming gang of hundreds of men. Over a period of 3 years, a serving police officer repeatedly came to find her in Rotherham, pick her up. He knew where we used to hang out. He would request either oral sex or rape us in the back of the police car. I don't want any, so I want to know where everyone with their placards are when something like this happens. Why aren't there loads of people outside the police stations saying, protect our children? Why aren't they there? I mean, I know, you know, it might be a train journey or whatever, but why does it not cause the same distress and upset? And it's a kind of leading question. I want you to know that when we keep standing outside migrant centres accusing migrants of all these crimes, yes, there are crimes that are committed. It is informed and fueled by racism. Fun times forever, quite, because they're not foreigners. You know, so just the manipulation is so obvious and so overt. It's just so shocking that it's so transparent. And we live in an age, it seems, where, you know, the transparency of racism, you know, look at the situation in Gaza, the transparency of breaking international, you know, humanitarian law. It's like stuff is just done before our very faces.
Yeah. I was saying yesterday, I miss cover-ups sometimes. Because now they don't you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about this case, obviously, but things like what Trump will say to us all the time, but the awful things that the Israeli government have said. It's like, it kind of makes it worse when everything still goes along in exactly the way that they've told us it's going to. It feels like, it feels so feral, you know, when all sort of decency is lost, when they can say the most terrible, egregious things and there's no culpability. You know, how many times over the last couple of years with Palestine, oh God, this is it. They've just admitted to this. Oh God, this is it. They've just done, oh, this is it. They've just set fire to all these people outside hospital. Oh, this is it. That's another hospital bombed to the ground. Oh, this is it. We found a pit with all these people. No. And, you know, I don't know what's going to happen now. Are they going to, like you say, you know, they're being investigated, just like in Israel, their own people are going to investigate them. It's like...
Cover up.
Yeah.
Rachel Pickard, as a person from Rotherham, it doesn't surprise me. It was common knowledge the abuse was happening and nothing was done to stop it. It was just seen as a life choice. You know, but, you know, let's just go back to the idea. This is the police officers were engaged in the abuse. It doesn't meet the same levels of criticism or outrage.
They are accused. They haven't been.
But it's not met with the same level of disbelief and outrage.
Well, the thing is, it's going to be very difficult, isn't it? Because if it is found to be true that many police officers were involved, this idea around, oh, the reason they weren't prosecuted was because they were too scared of being accused of being racist. I mean, won't it completely sort of shift things? It's like, oh, was it that? Is it two-tier policing, or was it just that the police were also
or was that the excuse to cover themselves?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Wow.
But as we say, at the moment it's just an investigation. These are just allegations.
Well, these are testimonies.
We will see testimonies.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Why we always have to sort of doubt first-hand testimonies.
Well, no, you always have to be innocent to proven guilty, and let us never let us live in a world where it's not the case, because actually we do live in a world that that's not the case. I was going to say, if only we're consistent. Eh? Yeah. Okay, so should we show some? Do you want to show these funnies? Let's show this one. This epitomizes a fed up, pissed off dad. The end of the day. It's the way his head goes in.
It's so weird. His body does something very strange.
It's just tired. He's had too much blood. Oh, we actually spit.
No, it goes away. That would have hurt.
And then this one, I love the way he laughs. But the thing is, it's the way those sort of falls where you're so shocked as they're happening, aren't they? You're like, I can't believe this is happening.
You're frozen with disbelief.
How is this happening?
Yeah, absolutely.
We do love Laurel and Hardy. We love a good fall.
And this
one is incredible. Look at this. This is in a shop in Thailand.
จะถอยออกแล้ว
Elephant had to pop in.
Love that.
Isn't that incredible?
ถ้าไม่ต้องตีตูดมาข้างหลังอ่ะ
Gucci when she just went leave.
This guy over there just going on shopping.
ถอย
What's happening? Snap.
ถอย
Oh.
ถอยไปเลย
9 bags of sweets, rice crackers, a sandwich and some bananas.
He's having a picnic. Oh.
Isn't that incredible?
That's great, clever.
Isn't that incredible?
I love that.
And the way they're so calm. God, when you think what you were like with a fly.
I'd be all right with an elephant. I don't mind an elephant. It's the sting. It's the unknowability of a sting.
Have you never been stung? Is that the
yes,
thing?
I have.
So you've got more fear?
No.
Oh, it's always a hornet when it's a man.
My hand was the size of a football in Ibiza. It was so painful that I never wanted it to happen again.
Are you sure it was a hornet?
Maybe it was.
Has anyone ever met a man that's been stung?
Just by a small bee.
But it's not. It's just always a hornet.
It's like when I'm bitten by a fly.
So tell
it's
us
a
about
horse.
the hornet.
I
then.
tell you what I have had. I've been bitten by a horsefly. Have you had that?
Yes,
That's
that is horrible.
fucking horrible.
That is really nasty.
Nasty.
Nasty. So tell us about the hornet. What was how big was it?
No, you're not going to.
No, go on. Let's have a look.
So it stung me right there.
No, but how big was the hornet?
It was about that big.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and I went down to get my beer, and it was around my beer. It was literally just resting on my beer. It went into my hand, and my whole hand came up.
Yes.
Oh, I'll tell you what's worse than that. Stepping on sea urchins. Has anyone ever done that?
No, that I haven't.
And then I did that in Spetze in Greece. And then
That's very painful.
a very sweet old woman in the village literally boiled some oil,
Wax.
olive oil, put my foot in it, and it just
I think they do it with wax, but
out.
I think also pissing on it.
She didn't piss on my foot.
No, but I think that is. Does anyone else know that? Am I right?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Zoe, I love these exaggerated stories men do. Do you know what? Men don't always exaggerate.
No, they don't.
No, we don't.
always.
Not always. Sometimes. Seen more of the little hornets this year.
Yes.
said
Oh,
Michu.
what are those, Michu? They do look like those things I keep saying to you. Those
Weaver
little,
fish. My uncle once stood on a weaver fish.
what are those?
It numbs your foot. It's like, apparently it's the equivalent of something like 500 bee stings on your foot. Do you remember the signs on
Yeah.
Avon Beach?
Yeah.
It said, be careful paddling due to
That
weaver
scares
fish.
me. Jellyfish really scare me because apparently the pain of that, you never forget it.
I once grappled a Portuguese man of war.
Do you remember that time we went to Ibiza and we've all set up, weren't we? And we put
Oh,
and we put our and
Yes.
we chose the best beds and we were all like, we ordered
Yes.
to drink. I went down to this and we were like, oh, I wonder what all those people are doing. Oh God, look, that's interesting. What all
you
those
were
people
like
doing?
me with wasps.
And everyone was in there trying to catch all the jellyfish because there were so many jellyfish. It
I
was like,
was going into the sea. You were standing on the
Oh,
edge
no,
like
I'm
a
scared.
gibbering
no,
like
I am
a
scared of
jellyfish.
jellyfish. I am scared because they will because my yoga teacher said to me, and she's not someone who's dramatic.
Jellyfish
She
was
said,
pissed, I said
you
to
do
Rich.
not want to get stung by a jellyfish.
No. Do you remember when we were in Mallorca and we walked along that wooden thing and there was that one that looked like a penis? Do you remember? It looked like a knob end. Just throbbing.
You see, this is the other thing. Everything ends up with a penis with men, don't they? And an exaggeration.
An exaggerated penis. Maybe.
The little jellyfish are okay. The kids were holding them in Cornwall. Oh, are they?
Yeah, there are some you can. Yeah.
It's knowing which ones
These
though,
weren't,
isn't
because
it?
there was that one woman who was out there with a net and she was just
Yeah.
collecting them.
I got stung by a bee in my crotch.
Jordan Rodway, is that
not on
real?
your
No.
labia.
My mum picked a man of war up as a kid, apparently. My nan threw it back off her.
Oh,
Portuguese man of war, they're massive.
oh. Now, what's
This
that
is
one?
why YouTube is gaining traction, because we can pivot towards exaggerated penis chat. See what I mean?
Can you imagine finishing off a live show
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love
on
about it.
television?
Yeah.
And just, I mean, like I'll say something that's so mild
Yeah.
for Lucy and they go, oh, obviously you're not.
Like,
gonna
press my anal glands.
Obviously you can't say that. You know, it is it's like the school holidays. I'm like, yeah, no, I won't say it.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, anal
What?
glands. I was trying to ignore it.
Press.
No,
Press anal glands.
no, I know what you said.
Press them.
No, we were ignoring them.
When I was younger, my dogs used to go to the vets. Apparently, your dogs have to have their anal glands pressed. Massage.
Please don't talk about them because it makes everyone sick. And people
Make
quite
sure-
often are having a sandwich. when
Okay,
they're
well,
watching
just to
us.
say, if you do choose to do that at any point, open your windows because it fires quite wholesomely across your shoulder.
It's not funny.
That's-
It's totally disgusting. And you are like a fucking 7-year-old.
That's why YouTube is so good, says Lamia.
No, it's
So-
not, Lamia. Don't encourage. How many times do I have to tell you lot not to encourage him? Listen, he goes to me, oh, they really like it when I'm silly.
Zoe, you can be yourself here. So can I, Zoe. But she
Oh,
won't
but
let
you
me.
see, you all turn off after an hour, but I've got him being himself all day when you've encouraged him.
Oh, Cherry D, not pressed, expressed. Thank you.
Oh,
Christopher Condell. Wow, that just made my stomach turn off.
exactly. Thank you, Christopher.
Sorry,
Condell.
Christopher. Sorry.
Yeah. He's in Australia, so he's having his dinner.
I've managed to make Christopher.
No, don't go on. Don't repeat it. Don't say. This is what the other thing he does. So we'll be eating, and we were talking about something. He goes, oh, and then and he goes, I better not say. And it's like, well, you've said it, haven't you? We all know what it is.
The kids then want to know. Oh, we better go. Saved by the
I
Bell.
am not lucky, Nat, of Jackie
Saved by the
Bellino.
Bell. Gotta go.
Hit the subscribe.
Lots
See
of
you
love,
soon.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.